Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this pair of palazzo pants with side pockets and a side zipper. So let's get right to work. Please don't forget to subscribe. The first thing we're going to be doing is to draw a line on my pattern sheet. This will be my starting line. It just goes all the way down. I've left just an allowance of 1 inch. The next thing I'm going to do is to insert my crotch measurement, which is about 9.5 10 inches will be fine depending on the size of the person. So I'm marking my crotch line right there like so, and then the next thing I'm going to be doing is to insert the lap measurement divided by 2, and I marked it right there. So if your lap is 25 inches, you're going to have 12.5 inches there. I'm marking it also at the top, drawing a line. This is pattern drafting, so that line is going to guide me. And then I'm going to be inserting the hip measurement divided by 8 for this my client. It's going to be 2.5 inches hip divided by 8, and I put in 2.5 inches there, and I'm marking that on top. Now this is going to be used to create a curve. That is the crotch curve. So I draw a line all the way up with the 2.5 inches I marked. I'm going to be using my French curve to create a curve right there, or you can decide to just go up by about 3 inches and curve it, but I'm using the French curve. That will be fine. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing is to insert the hip line, which is about 8 inches from the waistline. I'll go out by half an inch at that point, but I choose to go out on the hip line or on the lap line. I went out. Now I'm going in by just 1 inch at the side to create a shape. Why did I do that? Because I'm going to be using an elastic band on the waist. So, but originally the waist of my client is 32 inches. That's about 8 inches. But I added that 1 inch because we're having elastic on the waist. It's not firmly fitted. So from there, I'm going to be shaping this trouser down. But there's something I need to do. I need to get the midpoint of the pants by dividing the lap line by 2. That is going to create a line all the way through the trouser. Look at that, straight. I'm using this line now to mark my points. Look at the ankle point. I'm marking it there on both sides, and then I'm going to join the points from this to where we have the ankle line. The ankle is simply the ankle divided by 2. I'm using that middle line to insert the measurements equally on both sides, and then I cut. Once I cut through, we'll be using the front now to cut the back pattern sheet. So just watch that. I'm going to cut all the way and place on another pattern sheet like I have done right here. And then the first thing I'm going to do now is to begin to alter this pattern. So from the top of the waist, I'm going up by 1.5 inches like that, because the back waist is not straight. 1.5 inches, I'm adding 1.5 inches at the sides. Yes, this is going to create an allowance for me because I'm not putting a zipper there. I'm putting the zipper at the side. I draw a line for that 1.5 inches I've added. Then I'm going to go to the crotch line to alter my pattern again. I'm altering the pattern at that point. On the crotch line, I'll be adding 2.5 inches. If it's for a really big person, I'll add 3, but this is 2.5 inches. And then I'll use that to create a curve. Look at that. Using my French curve, I'm joining that. Look at that, beautiful. So the back pattern looks bigger because all allowances are added on the back. Then I'll begin to add 2 inches all the way down. Not immediately. From 2.5 inches, I slant to 2 inches gently, and then all the way to the bottom of the palazzo pants, I'll be adding 2 inches. And then on the waistline, I'll be slanting this 1.5 inch back to the point where the front of the palazzo is. So the back is not straight. I'm stopping right there where the front also goes. I'm curving it using the front pattern. Look at what I've done. I've joined all the altered points, the 2 inches I told you I was adding all the way to the bottom, and then I am going to begin to cut right after I have joined these points to create the complete back. And once that is done, You get to your scissors and you cut. Like so. That's the bottom. Then I'm cutting the side of the back pattern now using the front. And then for this side, it's just going to be the same as the front pattern. Look at that. It's the same. I'm using the front pattern to shape it all the way. These palazzo pants don't have that because remember I told you we're putting elastic on the waist. Once I've done curving, mark, and beautiful. So I'm going to separate the two patterns right now and you see what it looks like. So the first thing we're going to have now, look at the back pattern, beautifully cut. The back is not straight. If you've not subscribed, please remember to do so. Thank you. And then look at what the front looks like. The front waist is straight, but the back is not. So the next thing we'll do is place on our fabric and begin to cut out and placing that of the front. I'm going to cut this all out and the back as well. Once I've done that, I'm going to be cutting a 7 by 12 or 11 inches pocket for the front. I'm taking the front that I cut out and just shaping that pocket. You know, the front side is kind of shapely. Look at what I've done there. And now I cut out 4 pieces, 2 for both sides. So I'm going to take 2 now, pin it to the front again, and I'll mark 7 by 3 inches. Look at that. That is 7 inches right there, mark. And then on this side 3 inches. I'll be using my French curve now to create the shape it like so, and I'll cut out while the other 2 pieces of the pocket remain the same. Once I've cut this out, beautiful, I'm going to look at that's the back part of it, and that's where your hand is going in. Beautiful. So I'm going to pin the pocket to that which I shaped like so, and I'll sew along this point. Yes, at that point I'm just going to be sewing about 1/4 of an inch so that I can turn over nicely. Then I'll take the back piece that was not shaped out on the straight side. I join it to the straight side, and then the other side, look at that, I'm going to pin that, and the shaped side goes the other way. So I'll be sewing along this point 1/2 inch and then down the other way 1/2 inch from the top to the base, and then I'll corner and close up the bottom. Beautiful. With that, we have joined the pocket, and this is what it looks like, and that's where your hand will be going in nicely. Look at that beautiful thing. So we're not done. So for the front and the back, we'll sew the mid curve, sew the back curve, and of course the front curve. Then we from the base underneath and start joining, making sure the points are meeting, and pin the sides and sew all the way down. So we're joining the front of the palazzo to the back of the palazzo like so. I always love to use pins. I've sewed to the bottom of the trouser. The front and the back are being joined. It's taking shape now, and then we get to the side where we have our pocket. You make sure you arrange them and pin them. Look at that. Pin it. We're going to close one side completely, but the other side will be I'll be leaving this opening for the zipper as well. So I'm top stitching my pocket right there just to hold it in place. Can you see that? Arrange it because sometimes it may shift out of place. I'll just top stitch it a little bit, then come to the side of the pocket, these 3 pieces of fabric now. I'll top stitch it as well so that it stays in place while I sew. Pin it nicely and just hold it at that point. Beautiful. I'll just take that to the machine. It stays in place so that it will allow me to fix the back neatly. But there's something I'm going to do. I'll be leaving the waist close to the waist. I'll leave it open because I want to fix the waistband. Okay, and now I'm sewing the sides of my trouser from the top to the bottom, sewing at 1/2 inch sewing allowance. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to fix my waistband. I have measured the waistband about 3.5 inches wide and folded into two. I ironed some gum stay. I'll be putting a straight band in front from one end to the other at 1/2 inch sewing allowance like I'm showing you. I'll sew it down, but that of the back will be different. The back, I'll be inserting the elastic for the back. Look at that. So before I completely close the sides, I have done that, and I've attached that of the back as well, and I'll put in this elastic from one end to another so that when she wears the trouser it doesn't fall down. After that, I fix my side zipper and the trouser is ready. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.